Welcome to one of the most beautiful queens from Queens, Mss Francois herself. We got her on, and we are going to highlight one, how you can have more confidence in yourself, ladies, right? We're talking to you. Also, a little bit about being a business owner and dealing with all of the headaches we have to deal with from both being women or minorities in this world. So, without further ado, Mss Francois, welcome to the show. Why don't you give us a little quick background of where you're from and how you got to where you're at?
Okay, so quick background. First of all, I have a beautiful accent. In case you all are wondering, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, one of the greatest islands on earth. I am presently in the United States, New York. I came here in my late teens, have one of those immigrant stories. But with that said, a lot of things that I focus on is confidence, get into the next chapter, being your best self before you enter into the next chapter of your life. See how short and sweet that is?
Oh, I love that. I love that. And confident too. Confident too. What have you found in your work? I guess let me back up. Predominantly, who do you work with in your work when you're helping?
Okay, so to be clear, when we say work, are we talking traditional 9 to 5 or my business?
Know your
Okay,
business.
because God knows. So, with the stuff that I work with, so first of all, I definitely follow people that's in my niche that work with women, helping them to become the best self to the next level. So, people I work with is a lot of different influencers and different women in business that I gravitate to and gravitate towards me. And in those things, I always say I like to create win-win situation. We're supposed to be helping each other, not taking, because there's a lot of takers in the world.
Yes, yes, there is. What's when you go through this process with them, where are these women at prior to meeting with you? And then kind of where do you help them get to in a relatively short period of time?
Okay, so first of all, when a lot of people, I deal with people that getting out of relationships or thinking about entering into relationships, right? So most of the people that I work with, basically, when you get out of a relationship, I always say sometimes you lost your self identity when you're in a relationship. So you're at the process where you're crying and rolling up in a ball and eating yourself to death. It's like really a sad stage. And the first thing that I always tell everybody is that you need to be there and stay there for a few minutes, not 2 to 3 years and tell the story to 10 different people. But you need to be okay and feel what you're feeling because we are human. Because a lot of people, your friends, like to tell you, oh, girl, you need to get on, put on that outfit and get to. No, you're putting yourself into something even worse. So it's just be in that moment and feel what you're feeling.
It's reflecting on like who you are, like, right? Like you have to feel it, you have to understand it, and truly what it means to you, whatever the situation may be. Obviously breakups and relationships hold a more dear and near to our heart, but the same thing goes for business, same thing goes for trying to make money. It's if you understand who you are and can reflect on that emotion, it helps you on that next decision, it helps you on that next step. Have you found that once that's unlocked, things are a little easier as it goes?
It's a little easier, but when it comes to any relationship and including business, we all have failures. Some people say don't call it failure, but you didn't succeed, so technically you failed. Let's not try to make it fancy, right? But it's really learning from all the failures, and while you're going through it, does it make you feel good and be like, yes, what has this come to teach me? No. So you're gonna have to feel it. But when you continue to grow, when you look back, you're gonna see how far you have come, all the things you have learned. And even if you decided to pivot in a new business, you get to take all that knowledge with you. And I think you only see that when you start to blossom as you continue to grow and become something bigger and better.
There's something I talk about on almost every podcast, and that ultimately is no one has their shit together. We all have issues. We all have things going on, right? No one's like perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person with a perfect life. Do you find that a lot of women and everyone that you work with, specifically in the business side, feels like they need to be perfect before they move on to the next, or the website has to be perfect, or my voice has to be perfect? Do you find that I guess that drive to being perfect actually
Well,
has a
of
negative effect
course.
against you?
This is 2025. First of all, you look on every social media platform, everybody looks perfect. Some people don't know it's AI, but that's neither here nor there. But everybody wants to be perfect because everything around you seems perfect. right? And it's next to impossible. I mean, it's so many things that you have to get together to put together. But I think what people fail to realize is the starting part. Most people just don't start because they think they always have to do all these things. And at the same time, you know, people like to procrastinate, but someone says preparedness, because we all like to be prepared, is the cousin of procrastination. Which I was like, it makes sense because you're preparing, but you're not really doing anything. You're preparing for what, but you never launch. But honestly, it's just starting wherever you are and starting small, because as you get better, you're going to do better and things are going to open up for you. But most of us never end up starting.
No, it's that fear of risk. There's some type of fear there. Have you been able to kind of hone in on what the majority of the fear is for those to take that next step? Because yeah, being prepared and all of that to me is you do have to be somewhat prepared. You got to know what you're saying. But
Right.
if you over prepare, that means you're afraid of failing, afraid of taking the step. Have you found that there's like a common theme for the fear part of it?
I mean, that's most people, but you know what's funny? I have, for me, even personally, fear of failure is typical for most people, but people don't realize there's also the fear of success. Because sometimes when you reach that pinnacle, is then like, okay, then what? You know, because I kind of sometimes I swivel in both those things because I'm like, okay, I'm doing all these amazing things. Am I supposed to be planning for something else? But for most people, it is the fear of failure. So it's kind of easy to stay where you are and not do anything out of the box. So just stay in the box. But again, the excitement and the joy doesn't come inside the box. It always comes outside the box. So it's up to you to be around people to push you and push yourself as well.
You just said something that's very key, and that is others to
Right.
help push you, right? It takes a team. There's not one person on this planet that's successful or has a bunch of money or whatever that has done it alone. It is not possible because you need a team of people. You need others, not only to help support you, actually what you're doing, but help push you and guide you in certain ways. Let me put it this way. Have you noticed or have you seen a trend lately, specifically in the last couple years, of these people trying to get a team? Or are we getting to a point in our society where we're kind of like cowering and coming into our own shell again?
No, people have been getting teams, right? The thing is, it might look different now than it did before. You know, you have all these freelance sites and stuff, people you can pay a fraction of the cost to all over the world. So I think in a lot of areas, it's actually easier to get a team. They mightn't be next to you or physical or in person, but it could be almost anywhere, especially in the digital age. So, no, definitely, to me, people are leading towards getting people. Initially, I think it's scary because people like to say I don't need money, but you do need money. At some point in time, you're going to need money from somewhere, something. Okay, there's only so much you could do without money. That shouldn't stop you from starting. But no, definitely. And team, I had a book called it's the me and team because people like to say there's no I, but I'm like, you start with yourself and then you branch out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to do it. It's your passion. You build it out from there. When people say that too, I say there's no we either. So where do you want to go with this conversation, right? Which is hilarious.
That's good. I'm stealing that. Okay, good. No,
Go
I
right
and no
ahead.
we.
Go right ahead. So let's go back to kind of your story from Trinidad and Tobago when you were a teenager coming into New York City. What did you come in with, and what was that like? What did it feel like coming into New
It sucked. I hated it. It's the worst experience. I will not wish that on anyone. I don't care how you all say the roads are paved with gold. They're paved with pitch, okay? And it have lots of bumps in it. I always say I call it a typical immigrant story because most people do not have a positive story when you transition from one country to the next. Even with something when you come from one state to the next. But for me, it was really bad. A lot of times when you come from a foreign country, your family that's here, or whoever is here, always say, "Oh my God, it's going to be amazing." But most of the time, they don't treat you that nice unless you come with a bag of money to give to somebody. No, the lights on too long. I staying out too late. I need to do a bunch of chores that I've never done in my entire life, and it's take, 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 take. It was really bad to the point where they literally put me all my stuff out in a black garbage bag outside the door, and I had nowhere to go. And I was in this country maybe about 10 months. I am clueless. And I was raised in Trinidad. I was pretty slow because I was raised as what you all would say in the country. We would say in the bush. So I had, all I know was school and church. So I knew nothing. I didn't even know what men look like. I didn't know what a penis looked like. I don't know if you consider whatever, but I was clueless. So doing that to someone, it kind of sets you back, but it pushes you forward. Right. So it was not a good experience, but I'm glad at the end of the day, for me, I had end up having strangers that helped me, not the family, not the friends, but strangers.
It's a key point. Whether you are an immigrant or not, I don't have that background, but I do have being a minority background, and I feel like we get this misnomer that friends and family are always going to be the ones that support you and are there for you in community, etc. When it really comes down to, there are just certain people in your life that either just are around you, they come into your life, you come into theirs. But there are people in this world that are actually closer to you and will support you more than your family and friends will. And for those that are blind to think, well, it's just my family, I'm going to do whatever I can for them always, and they're always going to be there for me. I need you to think about this a little bit and go back and actually look at every relationship as the base of a relationship. Is there love there? Is there support there outside of having the title of family or
Right.
friends? Because it comes to me that a lot of these conversations I have with guests is there's always someone on the outside that has never been in your circle before, that are the ones that actually lift you up, bring you up, and are the ones that allow you to take off to the heights of your success.
A
So have you
hundred,
felt
a
that too?
hundred percent. No, 100%. Because, and one thing I do realize with family and close friends, as you become and you continue to grow, a lot of times they're stuck in the person you was when you were 10, when you were 20, when you were 25. So they don't know who this new person is. So a lot of times they discourage you. Sometimes they discourage you for in their mind for the right reasons, because they don't want you to get hurt and fail and all that stuff. But at the same time, they stumped in your growth. So other people from the outside see the person you are now, and they're like, wow, this person could go here, there, and everywhere. Let me assist this person because I see the potential. I see the want. I see the work. I see the effort. So that's been, I think, a lot of people's stories, and definitely mine, because all the things that I experienced most of the time since I've been in this country has been the family trying to push you down or just not be there for you, when total strangers that I've known for maybe 2 months, 3 months have done so much. I'm not giving you all any kind of money, strangers. Like, thank you. Like, thanks is enough.
I love it, but it's true. It's just, it is what it is, right? Being transparent, no bullshit. Like, it's real. And people out there, you are listening going, yeah, that's my situation. So what do you say to those that are kind of in that similar situation and mindset where they're like locked into their, oh, my friends and family will take care of me, they're going to support me? How do you help them get through that type of relationship into blossoming into who really they are?
So my thing is, keep your family and friends, right? Because to me, certain people's gonna naturally drop off, and you're gonna outgrow them anyway. That's not even your business. You continue being who you are, but at the same time, you're supposed to be attracting the people or the new people in your circle. So it's your job and your responsibility to put yourself in certain circles. You can't just sit one place and expect all the energy and the people to just come to you. So are you joining organizations? For me, I'm part of Toastmasters, something called Momentum Education, New York Black MBA. So I'm finding myself in circles and gather around people in my niche so we can help each other. But people sit in one spot and expect everything to blossom. And when people see you constantly growing like that, and in other circles, some of them are going to hate, or you change. Okay, yes, I have. And again, they might want to hang out with you as much. They might want to call you as much. Is it going to hurt? Yes, but you'll be all right. You won't die.
You won't, you won't die. I love.
No, you won't die. I'll just hurt. Your chest might hurt, or your stomach might hurt. But I mean, life continues. Time, you see, when it comes to my time, I'm so conscious that what 86,400 seconds in a day is a reason I know that, because I value my time. So I want to make sure I'm spending my time with the right people that's going to inspire me, empower me, and make me go to the next level. All those other people, I can't wait. Let them go live their life. Let them go Netflix and chill. That's their problem.
What exercises did you go through to own and know your value of time, right? It's obviously, we all know this, like, time is the most valuable thing that we have, and we usually blow it and waste it on energy things that don't need to be done.
You all do, not me. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
we all do it. What exercise or what thought process did you go through to try to control that more? I feel like that's one of the weakest things we all have. So what'd you do?
Well, first of all, we all go, I'm so busy, or I don't have time, right? But if you pause for 1 second and really, you could actually, I like pen and paper. This computer stuff, you ain't going to remember half the crap, right? So, pen and paper, really go through your day. What are you doing? How much time are you on your phone? Who are you emailing? What are you scrolling? What are you watching? And you'll see how much time you have and how you can actually just change certain things to use the time more wisely. I like to say using my time purposefully, because like, what am I using my time for? Because even me, sometimes people say, oh, because I'm scrolling, but maybe some of the people you're following, maybe you should unfollow. And if you're following certain people, make sure it's in the niche of things that you want to do and where you want to progress in. Just people are using the same time. We all have the same time, but some people obviously able to use their time more wisely than others. That's because some people took time to evaluate where their time is spent. It's really easy. Most things are not rocket science. We choose to make it rocket science.
We do. And I'll give a little example. So my boys, they're 10 and will be 8 here in about a week. And we have a list of chores and jobs they're supposed to do every day. If they actually sat down and did them all, 30 minutes. It would take 30 minutes, stop, right? And they will go from, they get out of school at 2:55. They will get home 3:15, have their snack. It will take them until 7 o'clock to get all of these chores done. And so I keep pounding the same exact conversation with them. Why would you waste all this time? You know you got something to do. Knock it out. You get it done. You're free and clear. But now you're going to stress over it as you want to go do this and you want to go do that. And then it's, 7 o'clock and we say, hey, by the way, you've got 4 chores left. Dad, no, just get it done. So it happens in all of us, even
Yeah.
kids, which is hilarious. So part of what you do is bring humor into the life of everybody, which I think is amazing because I love doing the same thing. Different groups have dark humor, some are a lot lighter humor. It's just all a mixture of the bag. When did you find out that like humor was, one, your thing, and two, that it allowed to break down barriers and build relationships?
Okay, so well, I must say I did not realize it at all because this is who I am for most of my life. But it's one of those things that they say is your gift, the thing that you do without thinking about it that comes easy for you than for other people. But I think it's other people on the outside constantly saying, oh, you're funny, oh, you're hilarious, or I'm saying something simple and they like dying with laughter. And I'm thinking they are problems. But when people keep saying certain things over and over, it's for us to pause and really realize that is one of your gifts. So that's how I found out when people kept telling me 100 times that I'm funny because I didn't think I was that funny. I was like, honestly, my humor, I guess it is a mixture of a little sarcasm kind of humor, but at the same time I was just being me and I was just saying things. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna make somebody laugh today, let me think of a joke. So I would say thank goodness I discovered my gift and other people helped me discover my gift, and that's one of the best ways you could find out what you're really good at.
They say that people who are funny naturally don't try to make, right? Like you had talked about, it's just in you. They say that is because they have internalized and used that to overcome their own trauma. Therefore,
100%. From the Kevin Harts, they have all said it. The Dave Chappelle's, something's really wrong with us. We went through some ish. So it was, I mean, it's either you could succumb to your trauma and get depressed and drag on and look like crap, or you turn it around and you make light of it. And honestly, you get through it so much. And then even studying and looking up humor, the things that it's responsible for, I tell people they could actually not have to pay health insurance or pay cheaper health insurance if they laugh a lot more. It's, I mean, it from the healing the sickness to creating connection among people. It's just so much it can do. It's like the endorphins. It's a lot. And if people would just realize that, the world would be a lot better place, or we would deal with things a little more better.
we
It
would.
eases pain, everything. Pain killers, so many things.
But I believe most of them can't laugh at themselves. And that's why. They can't laugh because they can't laugh at themselves and have this internal humor, right? Like I say things and do something and I'm like, I make fun of myself. Like I make myself laugh. If you can't make yourself laugh, then I don't think you value yourself to a degree at which you can laugh at other things and other people. And internally, that's what's bad for your health. That's what's bad for your success, relationships, etc. Do you find that like a lot of people just can't, they internalize, they can't even laugh themselves?
I would say, remember, just like different types of humor, right? I wouldn't say a lot of people feel funny about laughing at themselves, but sometimes you can laugh at some other people, though. So I'm like, fine and wait, find whatever humor fits for you. But to me, people take things just so seriously that again, I am saying something serious happened this moment and you laugh at it 2 seconds later. Some things are going to take time. So at the same time, be easy with it, but don't immediately like, oh my God, the world is over, because you're still here, and days are going to pass. I always tell people, don't take one day at a time. Take each moment for each moment at a moment. Things are so much easier when you break them into small like pieces and chunks. But really, people, get over yourself. It's not that serious.
Yeah, just get over yourself.
It's not that serious. Oh, laugh at someone else. It make you feel better.
Right, absolutely. Let's talk about your show. So you got a show. Let's dive into it. Let the folks that are listening understand what your show's about and what you got going on.
I'm like, which one? Okay, so
All of them. I mean, you start from the top. We'll list them all out.
so I have two main shows, right? So it's called the Mss Francois Show because I like myself. I should mention MSS stands for multi-talented and super sexy, which is obvious. And my show basically deal with using humor to help others with the dysfunctional relationships. And it mostly deal with women because obviously I have that anatomy. Yes, I do. And with that, basically I help women who are healing from breakups or exploring new relationships rediscover their self-identity so they can confidently transition into the next chapter of their life. But humor is the main focus. The other show I have is called Caribbean Brilliance because again, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I interview like business people that are doing amazing things, that was born in the Caribbean, come up here. Some people might have gone through significant struggles, some may not, but the whole point is when they tell their story, they empower the future and present generation. Because a lot of times when you come from a small island, and a lot of islands are small, you look at television or whatever you're watching and you think certain things are impossible. So when people hear these stories for people just like them growing up in the bushes in the country, they realize it is possible and they can do it too. I mean, we have Nicki Minaj, right? Trinidadian. We have Rihanna, Bayesian. Like if you hear some of their stories, you'll be amazed. So that's what I want, and still come with the humor, come with the laughter.
What brought you into to doing those shows? Like, I see the passion behind it and why, but like, why the show? Why go that route?
Look, well, that's easy. The relationship show is because men drive me crazy, and I was going through breakup after breakup. I mean, as you know, you say you do the work, but it was a release for me. When I started my show, I really didn't care about other people watching. It was my way to heal because I was angry, I was frustrated, I was confused. And my show has evolved. It's I think 7th year now. So it has evolved from what it was. Because if you watch my first 4 episodes, I am one angry female. So again, I would say that's part of me just starting where I was, right? Healing myself. And I think the first year anniversary, someone had come up, they're like, how do you feel like you're empowering and inspiring other women? I'm like, I don't really care about them, right? And everyone's like, what? I'm like, I never thought of it. But since that person raised that question, then I started seeing what they were meaning. And then I really started to encompass other people. So it's honestly from my own traumas. And that's, I think, where a lot of people start businesses and things from, is certain things that happen in your life. So men sucked at the time, but now they better. Or
Better,
maybe
or
I'm
you say
better.
so?
And the Caribbean Brilliance came from, I love my country. I love who I am. That's something that could never change. So even if I'm here, I know all the things that's going on. I wouldn't say the politics side, but Trinidad is a land of soca, calypso, steel pan. Just so you know, it's the last instrument that was made in the 20th century. You're welcome for that knowledge. So I just love from where my culture and how it started and what is happening now and how it has changed. So it's me loving my country and wanted to know more about other islands. So it was me partly wanting to learn more and getting to know other people. And you build so much amazing relationships when you talk to people from other Caribbean countries. It's amazing what we can do together.
I love that. I
I
really
know.
truly do.
I
I
said it.
came from a culture that wasn't just the Midwest. And those that are listening, and you're from the Midwest, we don't have much. We've got some farms, a lot of corn.
Oh, wow.
That's what we got
Amazing.
around here. Like that's our history. That's our culture. I guess the only thing we got going for us in the Civil War, we're in the North, so I guess we're on the right side of history. That's about as deep as we go from like being from here. Now, if I went to the deep roots of where my family's from in Africa, I'm sure there is
Right,
all.
that would be a whole different
Yeah,
story.
it's totally different, but we've lost a lot of that just because
True.
we're in America for so long. So I'm glad you're doing that, and I really truly hope you never lose your generation, your legacy you leave. Never lose any of that because
Hmm.
it's something I still earn for, but it would be totally different to try to go trace it all back and create it out of
Yeah, it'll take a while, but you never know what you might find. And
That's
that
true.
might start a whole new podcast for you, a whole new
Hey,
journey.
hey, you're right. You're right. So I'm gonna have someone do that because I don't have time, if you
That's
will.
why you have a team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Delegation. Right. As we get to the end of the podcast, I always ask two questions. Okay. They can go as deep as you want them to. But first one is, what was your first money memory?
My first money memory is not having any, right? So and that have to do with being a kid, like asking for something, or I should say knowing not to ask for something because I know my family never had it. So I think I grew up all into my late teens not even asking anyone because I just assume everyone is struggling and no one had it. So when you do get some money, I think initially when I first get my first paycheck at McDonald's, right? That was like $110 or something. You splurge because in my mind, this is the first time I had money. I wanted to do something and get something that I can see. Like stuff like investment and saving was the last thing. So I think that's my first memory of money. Now I do a lot better.
And that's why I was going with this. Where do you think that memory and how it shaped you to now be an adult who's successful with money? Where do you think that lies now? Do you still kind of go back to leaning that way sometimes and you recognize it, or how's that go?
No, I definitely do recognize it because I mean, people say more money, more problems, but that is true in some sense. But sometimes it's more money. What are you going to do with it? Because, like, you know, how people always go, I want to be a millionaire, but you made maybe 60,000 all your life. So how are you going to know what to do with $1 million? So I think that's where I am right now. No one try to rob me. But more money I make, sometimes I'm confused to what I should do, how much risk. Then older you get, you're considering your age, you're considering who you leave it to, you're considering insurance. So you have so much more responsibility than you have a business. Then you have to consider taxes. I think it's a lot. And this is even I was talking to someone when in reference to doing taxes, knowing the right tax person, someone that knows about business to be able to know how to navigate these things. So it's acquiring some of the knowledge for yourself, but also hiring the right people that could help steer you in the right direction. Because again, you're not an expert in everything, and nor should you be.
No, not at all. And that's why I always preach team, 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 team. So my firm, Black Mammoth, we're a modern family office. That's exactly what we do for business owners. We really want to take, okay, this is all the stuff you got going on. And as business owners, we have way too much going on all the time, is to help educate you and then lead you and guide you on the right path with the right decisions based upon that. That way you're not feeling alone. So I love that you said, hey, find the right people because the right people will lead you in the right direction. So I appreciate that.
Oh, you're
All right.
welcome.
So remember we said at the beginning, I said this whole podcast is designed for people to know they're not alone. There's other people going through some shit in their life and we want to be able to leave them with something. So what is an idea, concept, resource, or whatever idea that you can give out that people can take from right now, right this instance, implement into their lives and help them on their next step in their journey?
Okay, so yeah, so this is like the beginning. They're starting something.
It could be the beginning if you wanted to, could be in the middle of it. It don't matter, whatever you want.
So my biggest thing that I realized in life is how you talked about team, right? Is really okay. Jim Rohn always say your 5 friends, the average of your 5 friends, right? And I think people never really think about that statement. They just go, oh, that's great. Yeah, that makes sense. But they never do. So I want to encourage anybody that's, getting to, especially when it comes to business and doing something out of the box that's not typical. Really look at your phone and really evaluate these people, like the 5 people. Who are you calling the most? Who are you sitting next to at work? Who is really in your circle? Really like put it on a piece of paper. Who is supporting you? Who is celebrating you? who shows up for you, because I don't think we do that enough. Because when I did it and I looked at one person in particular I was talking to a lot, they were adding nothing. I'm not saying these people have to give you something like tangible, but what are they adding? If someone is not adding something in your life, they shouldn't have access to you, because it's energy that's drained. You shouldn't be, what are you going to dinner for? Why are you on the phone for 30 minutes, an hour, taking away your time? So really take the time to evaluate your friends and place them in certain categories. I like to call it my comrades, my confidants, and my constituents. Confidence is maybe one or two in a lifetime. People don't believe that, but when I reflect, it's one or two in your lifetime, because it's really a season or for a reason or a lifetime. And your comrades is you and this person together to go after one particular goal, then fall off. Constituents, we have many of them. They look just like your confidants, but they're only in there for a certain period of time, because they hold on to you because they could only get to a certain distance with you, and then they fall off and do their own thing. So really evaluate your friends and see who is adding to your life and who is taking away, and get rid of them.
That is something you can do right now. So you just heard it. She laid it out. Create that list, walk through it, and really take the exercise to like think about it and think about those people, because just like you had said, there really are only one or two. And when you were talking through, I was like, yeah, there's only like one for me. So I get you on that one for sure. But as we wrap this up, we always ask the same thing from our audience every time, and I love pounding this. I need you to comment. I need you to share this with your loved ones, not because of the algorithm. I really don't give a shit about the algorithm. It's because that means I can reach you, or Mss Francois can reach you, or whoever around our resources can see what you're going through. And if you can't communicate to us, then you're not going to be able to get help, and you're going to be stuck doing what you're doing over and over again. But if you can reach out and take that step, and you find the right person, that's going to lead you to your next step in your journey, whatever that may look like. So, Mss Francois, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate
You're very
everything that
welcome.
you're doing. I really do look forward to chopping it up later, even more so about what we do, and get you back on. But what you do is powerful. Your message is powerful. Keep doing it.
Thank you.